impact on the environment? If you are and you say yes, they want you to explain that. Anything that was highlighted in yellow, you must fill out. They want to know if the place has been designated as a historic place. And I'm clicking no on these because it's simpler for now, but you have to read these and make that determination about your project. Here's where they talk about, do you have international collaborators? And if you do, from what countries? All right, this right here is where your project summary abstract goes. This is where your narrative goes. And if you move on down, you'll see this is where your bibliography and references go, if you have any. Facilities, sub-proposals require that you give them a statement about the facilities that exist here. So you would add that attachment. If you are required to give them an equipment list or list of current equipment plus what it is that you want to buy from this project and justify it, that goes there. And there will be listed things that go under other attachments in the RFP. That might be where your letters of support go, if you're required to have them. Those kinds of things. Okay? I'm going to put something here that's going to be this. Okay. This is the profile for the senior personnel. Again, you're going to start with, this is Dr. Joe P.I. at Lincoln University. This is who he is. The agency login. And it's if you are submitting to an agency, they want to know if you have established a personal profile. If you haven't, you don't have anything to put there. And you notice it's not in yellow. They want to know about your, if you have any other project category roles in this besides being the PI. They want to know degree type and year. And if you have to attach a biological sketch, a biographical sketch, I'm sorry, and a current and fitting support report, this is where those attachments go. And then you just continue on. Again, this is for all key personnel. It's the same. Yes, ma'am. So
that should correlate with just the Lincoln University
Yes.
personnel and
Yes.
not the collaborators.
Right. Occasionally, unless the RFP tells you otherwise, and the RFP may tell you otherwise, it may say if you have an outside collaborator or consultant or a subcontractor, they may ask for that. Again, the RFP is always where you're going to look for that. Okay. Now, this is the budget. You do not want to build your budget in this form. You want to build your budget in a spreadsheet or whatever's comfortable for you. I see people do them with a calculator and a piece of paper, whatever works for you. But you want your budget done before you, all you're going to do here is plug it in. They populated it with Joe P.I. If you had other senior personnel, their names would appear here. And they want to know, this is kind of the calculation that you did. They want to know what their base salary is. If you're using calendar months, academic months, or summer months, how much salary you're asking for, the amount of the fringe benefits, and the total of the funds requested. And if you have additional senior personnel besides this 8, you'll add those. And then want to know the total senior key persons, what that total amount is. But if you had more than that, which is pretty rare, but if you did, you would put together on a separate piece of paper, save it and attach it, providing the same information in the same format. Could be a table. It can even be a spreadsheet that you put into a Word document. However that works for you. But it will tell you if there's something additional they want there. This is your other personnel, students, graduate students, clerical help, those kinds of things. Again, they're asking for the position, how many of them there are. If you have 5 students, you just put 5 students in, and then you enter in the salary, the months that you're using, how much you're requesting, and the fringe benefits. In the budget justification is where you'll show that the fringe benefit rate is so much. The hourly rate is so much. But here they you need to use this formula. And then it's kind of goofy because then it goes to a different format. They want to know, again, they want to know about equipment. How much equipment is there? The item and how much it costs. Remember, for the federal government, equipment, the threshold is $5,000 before it's determined to be equipment. And that's $5,000 per piece. If you have something, let's say you get funding for a computer lab, and you're gonna have a server and 9 computers, and altogether that comes to $60,000. Unless one of those pieces costs $5,000, it is not considered equipment, because each one.
Supplies?
Yes. And it's because a laptop or a computer can function with that server, but it can also function without the server. They're not integrally related. Now, if you were having something fabricated, you needed a special piece of equipment, and to have it built costs $60,000, and some of the components are just a few $100. That would all be equipment, which is a little confusing, but that $1,000 piece is no good to you without all the rest of it. That's why you're having it built. So you would list any equipment over $5,000. Yes, ma'am?
If you're having, I think this is what you're just saying, but I want to double check. Like equipment, if you're borrowing equipment from another institution and you're paying to have it refurbished, and it costs over $5,000 to refurbish it, does that go on the
No,
equipment?
it does not. That goes in other direct costs.
Other direct
This
costs?
is equipment purchase
Okay.
or lease. If you were leasing a piece of equipment and the lease was over $5,000. Hardly anymore, people don't generally lease equipment. Part of the reason is that with technology and advancements, something that somebody bought 2 years ago, there's something better out there, so they generally don't, but occasionally you'll see where somebody will lease a piece of equipment that meets that $5,000 threshold. The next section is your travel. And it's, again, you're just putting the totals in here. Domestic travel, which in this case includes Canada, Mexico, and U.S. possessions. Doesn't always. You have to read. And then foreign travel. So they want to know just the totals. Yes, sir?
Coming back up to the equipment, is that 5,000 or more, or exceeding 5,000?
At the $5,000 mark, it becomes equipment. That's the threshold.
So 5,000.
If you wrote a grant and you had to buy a tractor and it cost exactly $5,000, that's equipment. If it cost $49.98,
Right, it's not. So I never remember, I've never paid much attention to the exceeding part.
Right.
Some people are a stickler. If it's not exceeding, it shouldn't be there.
It's right at $5,000. $5,000 is the threshold. That's
Okay.
what they consider equipment. Now Lincoln's threshold is $1,000, which means that it gets tagged and reported in the inventory here. But the federal government says 5,000. Okay? And it's important that you are accurate in this estimate, because it can affect, at the end of your grant, the federal government, if they bought a piece of expensive equipment, can come and ask for it. They generally don't. They generally transfer it to the institution. Again, because after a 5-year project, there's something newer and better out there. But occasionally, particularly if they feel like a grantee has not delivered what they're supposed to, they'll come and ask for that equipment back. And if you've got it listed there, you have to account for it in that way. So you want to make sure that it actually is equipment by the federal standard. Okay? Any other questions? All right. Then you have your travel, and then you do your participant or